No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin' Raw podcast, episode 124. I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter. I am here with my co-host, as always, Sir Cuss-a-Lot Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. T-Money, a.k.a. T-Bag, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC, a.k.a. that King That Thing, a.k.a. undigested food.
Oh, no. Digested food, sir.
Digested food. You happy now?
Yep, because I'm the shit.
All right. Travis, go ahead and slide into those DMs for that panda gif.
Slide in them DMs.
So, I need to know how on YouTube you can react to and use video clips from another YouTube video, or I hear people all the time on YouTube using music and shit, like little clips here and there. They're reacting to songs and shit like that. But I can't play 30 seconds of motherfucking Pony without getting a copyright claim. I don't understand that. So I guess we'll just do this. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Well, there's a difference between a claim and a strike. It's just those videos are up there, but
Okay, there's this YouTube channel that I watch. They are the Law Twins. The Law Twins play full songs and dissect full rap songs every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Full songs. And they'll stop it, and they'll talk about a bar, and then they'll go back and play it. The entire episode.
Once again, there's a difference between a claim and a strike. All the claim means is ad revenue does not go to you. That's all.
So do we have a claim or a strike?
It's a claim.
Do we even get ad revenue?
Not right now.
So I could be playing music right now and it wouldn't fucking matter.
You could. You the one, I told you not to overreact. You the one that started tripping.
You told me I can't play music no more.
I didn't
you said
say
we
that.
got to be careful.
I did not say that.
You said we got to be careful.
That is not what I said.
What'd you say?
All I said was that we got a copyright claim. That was all I said.
You said we're back on YouTube now. We got to be careful because we got a copyright claim. And then you told me what for, and I was like, those motherfuckers. You find that panda gif yet?
Bitch, don't rush me.
In the meantime, we have our very first Smackin' It Raw Dollar Holla. And that's going out to Mark Daniel Robles or Mark Xavier Robles, depending on what he decides to make his Facebook handle at the moment. He is a loyal follower of the Smackin' It Raw podcast, a member of Facebook.com/groups/Smackin' It Raw, and a big fan of The Rack, who took my place and hosted your post show for TLC. And if you guys haven't checked that out, you can find that at Facebook.com/Creation World or Facebook.com/groups/Smackin' It Raw. You're going to have to dig in Smackin' It Raw to find it, though. Got one, Travis? Our panda gif in Sasha's DMs, which she has still not responded to, is a panda walking with the words, "I'm a panda."
It's a cute
below
little
him.
baby panda saying, "I am a panda."
Yes. Sticking his nose in the camera. News and rumors. There has been rumors going around that have been denied by Edge, that Edge has signed a new contract, and it is an in-ring contract. People were going all crazy about it. Edge is like, no, it's not true.
Not happening.
Today, the Young Bucks quit Twitter, both of them, Matt and Nick Jackson.
Oh, that would matter more to me if I was following either one of them.
Yeah. Were you going to say something more about Edge or no?
No, I was just saying, like, he was basically told if he didn't quit, he'd die. So I don't see him getting back in the ring.
Roger that. And last but not least, and the most important thing we're going to talk about today, because Travis made sure he tagged me in some shit on Facebook, and it inspired me. So, it's not dead, ladies and gentlemen. We have hope.
Oh.
WrestleMania 36, we can still get Sting versus The Undertaker. Undertaker has said that he is not done wrestling yet. Sting has said that even at his retirement, he considered a possibility. He's even gone so far as to say that every year when it comes around, he thinks about that match and he would listen to a phone call and consider it, and he thinks he could get himself into shape and they could do it. And let me tell you guys something. I don't care if it's worse than Goldberg versus Undertaker. I don't care if it's worse than Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. I don't care if it's 2 seconds long or 20 minutes long or an hour long. All I want to see before one of them dies or I do is Sting and The Undertaker in the same ring face to face. And if they go to blows, fantastic. And if they have a match, hell fucking yeah. But just let them get in the ring face to face. Just give me a stare down. That's all the fuck I want. You can do that.
Man.
Nobody's going to get hurt.
Oh, you are so easy. What if I just made that up?
You didn't, because I watched both the Sting Untold already and the Undertaker interview. And
okay.
I've read numerous things online, so no.
Okay. Well, I was like, that was not, a link or anything. It was just a photo. Like, that could have been easily created. Like, I could have just made that up.
You could have, but when things like that come up, I do extensive research before I get my hopes up because I know you.
Touche.
All right, Travis. AEW, Raw, or NXT? What do you want to go with first?
What about SmackDown?
Fuck SmackDown. You didn't watch it. They pissed me off. Fuck SmackDown.
Shit, okay. I mean, Raw?
If you really want to know why I'm pissed off and you want to cover SmackDown, we can, but fuck SmackDown. You don't know what they did to me tonight, Travis.
I'll find out when I watch it later on this weekend then if it's that serious.
It won't be to you. You won't give two shits. But it is to me.
What'd they do? Tell me what they did there.
Fuck. All right. So Daniel Bryan kicked off the show. He complained about how when the Fiend ripped off his facial hair and ripped out his hair and his pubes, he lost his brand and he went home and his daughter didn't recognize him and blah, 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 blah. And then The Miz came out.
There's some videos, like a YouTube video or it was on Facebook or whatever, of this dad who like shaved his beard off and his daughter cried when he took it off because she didn't know who the fuck he was.
Yeah, that's what Daniel Bryan said happened.
Yeah, that's funny.
Then he calls out Bray Wyatt to fight, but The Miz comes out. And The Miz says, hey, like, I get it. You lost some hair and your child doesn't recognize you. But this motherfucker was in my house, in my room, with my child, giving her toys. And nobody comes in The Miz's house and gives his child toys unless it's Santa. He didn't actually say any of that. I mean, the stuff about the puppets and shit he did, but not the Santa stuff. So he's like, no, I get the Fiend because he has no family. So I got to take what's important from him. And I'm sitting here like, Travis, what about JoJo? What about the baby? Like, does The Miz know you're really the father? Is that what's going on here?
He must know. He must know. Which is
Did you confide in The Miz? Is that why he's saying Bray Wyatt doesn't have family? Because
what he's saying is he knows that that's not Bray Wyatt's baby, and he knows Bray Wyatt's a cuck, so he has nothing.
I mean, well, no, we're not going to let that slide. You need to back that the fuck up. Whether or not it is his child is still his wife, and he's still raising that baby because I know from looking around,
I like that.
You are not supporting that child in any way, shape, or form.
Because I don't have to. He said he'd do it.
So he has a family, but that was Mrs. argument. And then King Corbin comes down and cuts some corny jokes about everyone else and talks about how he beat Kurt Angle and he won King of the Ring. And by the way, I love the fact that when they list his accomplishments, Money in the Bank is not on there since he did not successfully cash in Money in the Bank. So he says he beat Roman Reigns, and then he plays a clip of them announcing him as the winner over Roman Reigns over and over and over again. And he says that automatically makes him number one contender. And Daniel Bryan and The Miz are both failures in life and failures as fathers. So they look at each other, and they're about to whoop his ass. And then Dolph Ziggler comes out and beats them down. And, yeah. Can you guess what that led to?
Tag team match?
In the main event.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
And this is where I get pissed off.
Oh?
Because in our main event, after everything's all said and done, after The Miz makes Dolph Ziggler tap out, yeah, Dolph tapped to The Miz.
Okay.
The lights go out, and we hear laughs. And here comes The Fiend. And they go off fucking air. They cock tease me with The Fiend and then cut the fucking feed off. And I got no Fiend. I got the lights going out. I got everyone looking scared. But did The Fiend come out and do anything? I don't fucking know. You know why? Because I was watching a goddamn commercial for the next fucking episode of whatever the fuck Fox plays after SmackDown, because no one stays and watches Fox that long. How are they going to do that, Travis?
You mad, bro?
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. The only reason I even watch SmackDown is for The Fiend. Like, the fuck?
I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like,
and then you're going to like, oh, here he comes, and then shut the fucking cameras off and send me into fucking God knows what? I don't know. I fucking put my phone down. I was pissed.
New Day have a tag title match? Didn't that happen? Wasn't that a thing?
Oh yeah, there was other stuff that was kind of important or interesting, but it pales in comparison to the fact that I'm spitting SmackDown for this Fiend cock tease bullshit.
Okay, that's fine, but did the New Day win?
New Day did defeat Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Prior to that, Braun Strowman had a conversation with Sammy because Sammy drew Braun Strowman in the Secret Santa. Braun's like, you don't even like holidays. You're talking shit and blah, 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 this and that. Why are you even participating? And it all led to him saying, well, what do you really want? And Braun said, you want to give me what I really want? You give me an IC title shot against Shinsuke. And then he's like, oh, well, we got a tag team match, so we'll think about that. I'm going to check my list twice, and we'll get back to you. So Braun wants the IC title. Shinsuke and Cesaro, after losing to the New Day, get jumped by those three guys. And Braun comes down for the save, and then the heels run off. The best thing all night, I'll say for last, Carmella defeated Sonya Deville. You're going to like this. So after Carmella defeated Sonya Deville in like 3 minutes,
Really?
Yeah, short matches for the women. Again, this week. It's becoming a trend. I don't know why. 3-minute match. Carmella's going up the rampway. The New Day's music hits to come out for their match. And Corey Graves says, what are the New Day doing here? I've had nightmares about this. To be fair, I mean, to be fair, though, like, you can't just say I've had nightmares about this because Kofi is a good, faithful husband and father. So, like, Kofi's out of the equation. Per the track record, you may have to worry about, and he's at home doing all sorts of shit, nowhere near Carmella because his foot's all fucked up. So the only one you really got to worry about is Big E. But the way Big E's gone at Becky's mama, yeah.
Hey, man. Big
I laughed real hard at that, too.
Free to mingle. He can do whatever the fuck he want.
I'm with you on that. I laughed real hard at that, too. Bayley defeated Dana Brooke, and then they attacked Dana Brooke. So Lacey came down, and then Lacey challenged Sasha to a match. calling her a coward. And this whole Lacey face transition, I'm going to give it some time, but she worked the mic so much better as a heel than she has a baby face. So I'm going to give it some time. We'll see. If she settles into the role, it's still new. The match gets thrown out as Sasha is whooping Lacey's ass outside the ring in front of Lacey's husband and daughter. And then Sasha starts trolling Lacey's baby, not baby, but like her toddler age little girl. She's probably like 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's past toddler, Matt.
What do you consider that? Child? It's a child.
The kid, yeah. Like toddlers are when they like toddling around. That's like early preschool shit. It's like 2, 3.
So anyway, she's got like a 6-year-old daughter, and Sasha starts trolling her as she's like kicking her mom in the face. Is this your mom? Oh, is this your mom? And like the little girl's swinging at Sasha, trying to throw Sasha a little child-sized woman's right and shit, and growling at her like a cat. And Sasha's just trolling her back, and it was pretty entertaining. Sammy, New Day, Daniel Bryan, Sasha, Daniel Bryan. Okay, so we have Heavy Machinery versus the Revival in a Miracle on 34th Street fight.
Oh, God.
Travis, Heavy Machinery does an interview before the match where Kathy Kelly's asking them about last week and what happened with the ham. And how Otis is really upset by this. And, you know, they do Heavy Machinery shit. Mandy Rose shows up. And Mandy Rose tells Otis that she got him for Secret Santa. And she feels real bad about what happened last week. So she got him a ham and hands him an entire fucking ham. And then kisses Otis on the cheek. So Otis is ready to go.
Clearly.
They bring the ham down to the ring that he got from Mandy. The Mandy ham. That's what we're going to call it. He's got the Mandy ham. He puts it on the announce desk and tells the announcers, do not let anything happen to it. Do not, blah, blah. Of course, after tables are broken and presents are broken and one of the Revival takes a nut shot to a Christmas tree, they go over and they not only knock the ham off the table with, what's the other guy's name? Tucker. They pick the ham up and throw it on the ground in front of Otis. So Otis flips the fuck out.
Clearly. Starts
whooping ass. Yeah. Dumps Legos out of a bag into the ring and slams one of them onto Legos. Legos. He also did the caterpillar through the Legos. He did the caterpillar on top of the Legos.
Ooh.
Travis, Heavy Machinery wins. So this is all great, right? Like, yeah. I know you heard Miracle on 34th Street fight, and you're like, oh, fuck that. But now that you've got some context, this is fantastic.
There was Legos, Mandy Rose, and ham involved. Now I'm okay. What?
After the match, Otis picks up the ham and is eating it. He goes to the back. Mandy gives him a hug in the back, and when she pulls away, her entire front of her dress is just stained in sweat. Then there was the tweet that you responded to that I put on the Smackin' and Raw group about how Christmas came early and how, all that.
Nice.
There is nothing in this world, Travis, that I want more right now than for a Mandy Rose, Otis Dozovich, Sonya Deville love triangle where Sonya and Mandy Sonya and Otis are fighting for Mandy's affection. I want Mandy to start paying Otis attention and Sonya to come out and get all jealous and grab her away. I want this to lead to Sonya admitting that she loves Mandy and she's in love with Mandy. And I want those two to compete for Mandy's heart. Hell, I'll even take an intergender match between the two if need be. I don't care.
That's fun.
I need this to happen. And I need it to culminate with them saying that they're going to have a match and winner gets Mandy. And then because it's the truth, Mandy says, I'm not an object that you could just win by having a match. If that's what both of you think of me, neither of you get me. And then we have this make up to Mandy.
Wait. And then we have what?
The Otis Sonya buddy section where they've got to come together to make up to Mandy for treating her like an object. That's what I want. because that is going to be comedy fucking gold.
See, I thought you were going to twist it to somehow she ends up with Big E.
Oh, no, she's going to end up with Mandy because we need that lesbian storyline. I've been pitching that for over a year now. Yeah, she needs to be with Sonya. That's how it's got to end. But
that's funny.
That's what I want. Yeah, that's SmackDown. So from what you heard, spit or swallow.
That sounds interesting and fun. You know, I understand why you were pissed, but you know, I don't care that much. So yeah, I'll swallow it. Sounds fun to me.
All right, you said you wanted to go to Raw.
Yeah.
Was that your first pick?
Yeah.
All right. Seth Rollins comes out to talk about his leadership skills because apparently the two main storylines on Raw and SmackDown are who's the leader. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Travis and I know how to solve that. Get a fucking general manager. Then it won't matter who the leader is because we got a general manager and he's the leader. Don't need to worry about Seth being a locker room leader or if Roman or Corbin are locker room leaders or who's in charge. Fucking general managers.
Makes too much sense, Matt.
And then he says he's got something to do later that we're not going to like and that the AOP are here to enforce his will upon us. Did you see the Viking Raiders?
I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't for the titles.
I know.
But that's not what happens. If the Viking Raiders have a match and it's not for the titles, it's not good enough for Hulu.
It's very odd, but yes, I did see the Viking Raiders.
Okay. Did you see Eric Rowan's squash match?
I did not see an Eric Rowan squash match.
Viking Raiders lost to the OC in a non-title match, which was whatever. Like, I'm glad
title match. I thought it was a rematch for the titles.
No, it was a non-title match.
I mean, I realized that after the match was over, but
yeah. I mean, it was what it was. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the OC and I like the Viking Raiders, but they're not giving me much with this feud, and their matches haven't blown me away to where I'm like, yes, let's do that. So I'm kind of glad Viking Raiders aren't just beating up local jobbers anymore. I guess, kind of.
Because I mean, they gave you an actual tag team on the roster, and it still hasn't made you care.
Like, here's the thing, Travis. SmackDown was Raw was fucking weird this week. All right, like. It was just, we had an NXT wrestler wrestle on the show that isn't a call-up. We watched Liv Morgan take a bath. There was a gauntlet match that no one won, and then someone who wasn't in the match got the title shot. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on this week. It was weird.
What the fuck are you doing, dude?
Hey. We don't king shame. It don't matter what he's doing. Just let him do his thing.
Did you hear him?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he was just, I can't see him from here because he's in the dark part of the living room. But he just made a really weird noise like 4 times in a row. And
just be happy that whatever he's doing it out of eyesight in the dark part of the room.
But I can hear him. And it's distracting. All right? I just want to know what's happening. I'm not shaming him for it. All I did was ask a question. If you call a question shaming you, then I sound like you're the one who's ashamed.
Oh, no. It's the tone of voice you used when you questioned him. It's all in the inflection, Travis. It's all in the inflection. Because you can say a lot of things. You can say a lot of things, and the way you use your inflection can make a whole lot of words sound a lot different to a lot of people. Did you see the Liv promo?
Yeah.
So you watched Liv take a bath?
Yes, I did.
She's washing away her old self so the real her can come out?
Yeah. So whatever her real her is, it has nothing to do with what we just saw in that promo.
Everyone's thinking that this is going to be like them retrying to do the Emelina storyline with Emma. Remember when Emma came out and she was going to have a makeover and she was Emelina, and it was like for 2 seconds, and then she came back as Emma, but she was a heel? You don't remember that whole thing?
Not really.
I think it happened while we were doing the podcast, but yeah.
It must have been very insignificant, so I don't remember.
Did you see Lana and Bobby?
Yes.
First off, I will trade Lana and Bobby for Otis and Mandy all day long.
You're not alone in that.
Lana proposes that Bobby should propose to her. So they just got a divorce last week.
No, that's not what she said. She told Bobby that she wanted him to ask her to marry her.
Listen, she's not like, when she's doing a Russian accent and she's trying to hold the Russian accent together and she's got to really focus on what she's saying, fantastic. Since that Russian accent's gone and she doesn't really need to focus on it, she says a lot of weird shit, Travis. A lot of weird shit.
I just thought that was whole playing into how much she's just really into herself.
Maybe, but Bobby did end up proposing. He said no one tells him, he doesn't like anyone telling him what to do except for Lana. So they got divorced last week, engaged this week, and they're getting married next week. This all seems way too fucking fast.
Government doesn't work that fast. That divorce isn't finalized yet.
That's what I'm saying. I hold into the solace that there's never been a wedding on WWE TV where something entertaining hasn't happened. So, like, at least there's that. Next week we'll get the wedding.
I know that Macho Man Elizabeth wedding was very uneventful.
There was still some shit that went down.
If I'm remembering correctly, they just had the fucking wedding, bro. Let us know in the comments what happened to that Macho Man Elizabeth wedding.
I'm pretty sure Macho Man got attacked.
From what I remember, they just had the damn wedding.
I'm going to look that up after we get off this podcast.
Yeah, do that.
Anyway, I'm expecting Lana's face to go in the cake or something to happen. So at least we'll get something out of this. And then hopefully it's close to being over. U.S. title gauntlet match.
Get end up with a Mandy and Sonya wedding.
I'm good with that.
But then it turns out that
no, because there is no Eric Bischoff in 3 Minute Warning. The priest would have to be Seth Rollins.
And the AOP? No. Yes. It needs to be Eric Bischoff again because we need Eric Bischoff back. The wrestling world needs Eric Bischoff.
Travis, listen, they're not even inducting him with his own creation, the NWO.
That's because
they're inducting his shit and not putting him in it, but they're putting X-Pac in.
Because there's some fucking haters. Because they know that the NWO is not something they created, and it fucking whooped their ass for 83 weeks straight.
So they're going to induct that, but not Eric Bischoff.
Yeah. Because they some haters.
You had this really great, fantastic, awesome idea that kicked our ass. We're going to put that in the Hall of Fame. But you? No, not the guy that did.
We're going to acknowledge them because they're the wrestlers. We still like them because they worked for us and made us money. But fuck you.
Well, Eric worked for them and made them money too.
Yeah, afterwards.
U.S. title gauntlet match. We don't get a winner. And don't get me wrong. I can't complain because we got to see Matt. Well, I can, but we got to see Matt Hardy.
Yeah, that's
we got to see.
I saw Matt Hardy again, so he's there. You're right.
We got to see Ricochet, who people were all like, "Oh, Ricochet got killed because he had a match on main event." Like they're burying Ricochet because he was on main event. Like, no, he just went and worked a fucking main event show against Cedric Alexander. Now he's here and he won multiple falls.
He's dead.
Huh?
So Cedric Alexander's dead, but.
Well, yeah, no, they buried him. I was just kind of like, the best match you had at TLC was Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, and Aleister Black won that match. So why is Aleister Black not in this gauntlet for the U.S. title or in some kind of title picture?
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
We get down to Humberto beating Ricochet, and then it's Humberto versus Andrade. What?
Pretty Ricky's what they call him.
Yeah. Pew Pew Ricochet. It's Andrade versus Humberto, and this ends with Andrade DDTing Humberto onto exposed concrete. So there's no winner. They call the match off. No one won. Ray runs down to check on Humberto and runs off Andrade. And then Seth comes down. And Seth's like, oh, yeah, by the way, that thing I had to do, I got to give this pipe back to Ray. Go ahead.
What if Andrade hadn't put Humberto through the concrete?
We might have had the finish of a match.
But, like, what was Seth going to do then? Because he wouldn't have had Ray out there to, like,
Maybe after the opening segment, he spent the entire night walking around the back looking for him. Ray's small. He can hide. He can fit in small places. You can walk right by him and not see him.
This is true, but I don't think Ray was hiding.
Oh, maybe he took his mask off and no one recognized him.
Yeah, because nobody's seen him without his mask before. Yeah.
Not in years, Travis. You don't know how much his face has changed. He looked like a fucking 9-year-old before when he had that mask off. Now he might have some wrinkles and shit. Maybe he got a few.
No. He looked at least 12, Matt.
Maybe, he's a big Tekashi 6ix9ine fan. He got some tattoos on his face. He could be unrecognizable. Maybe he lost all his hair. Do we know what bald Rey Mysterio looks like?
Yeah, pretty similar to the Rey Mysterio that we saw before, just with shorter hair.
I don't know. Daniel Bryan got shorter hair, and he looks about 15 years younger.
Well, there's a difference between Rey Mysterio's shorter hair and Daniel Bryan's shorter hair. Daniel Bryan had the caveman thing going on. Ray had the short haircut anyway.
So Seth wants to give Ray his pipe back. And this, of course, is a beatdown with the AOP on Rey Mysterio. And then Seth tells Ray that he wants that title shot. So Seth Rollins, who's not in the gauntlet match that's supposed to determine the number one contender for the U.S. title, gets the title shot against Rey Mysterio. Yes. It's going to be next week on Raw.
I didn't.
Ray accepted.
I missed that part, I guess. Maybe I just wasn't paying too much attention at that point.
Seth gets the title shot. We spent the majority of our show having a gauntlet to get a title shot. It ends with no finish, and then a guy who's not even in the match gets the title shot. So that whole gauntlet was a waste of time. We could have just had Andrade versus Humberto in a singles match and done another women's match instead of just having one women's match on Raw and use some of the actual Raw talent.
It was a women's match on Raw?
Asuka versus Deonna Purrazzo from NXT.
Yeah, didn't see that shit.
Travis, the women's tag team champion, you and the Rack did not talk about this because the Rack's a piss poor reporter. Kairi Sane suffered a concussion at TLC in that TLC match.
And still finished the match because she's a fucking G.
Yeah. A lot of people were bitching and complaining and talking about it on the internet because it's the internet and it's Twitter and that's what they do.
Man, what?
That Charlotte and Becky took liberties with Kairi because Kairi was clearly hurt, and then Charlotte went and still powerbombed her through a table, and how it's their fault and they're unsafe and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I even saw somebody bitch and complain that they DDT'd Andrade onto concrete because they're pretty sure that it was that capture suplex that Charlotte did into the barricade where Kairi hit her head and got the concussion. So they're like, oh, Kairi just got a concussion last night from hitting her head on concrete, and then you make this DDT on a concrete a spot in a match. That's tasteless. And it's like, no, because it's a spot and it's protected. What happened to Kairi was an accident. What they did was planned and done as safely as possible. There's no correlation there. It's Twitter, Travis. It's a shit show. Point is, Asuka had to come out by herself.
Wrestling fans, Matt.
I know, so do I. Asuka had to come out by herself, but you got the Iconics, you got Sarah Logan, you got talent on Monday Night Raw that you can use, but instead we bring up Deonna Purrazzo. And don't get me wrong, Deonna Purrazzo was fantastic in the Mae Young Classic. I've watched her on NXT UK. I'm getting there because you didn't watch the Mae Young Classic.
Sure
you don't watch NXT UK.
Nope.
You didn't watch NXT before they were on USA, so you have no idea who she is. She's a wrestler signed to NXT who has not been on NXT except for the very first episode. Her and her tag team partner were in the crowd, and they showed them for a brief second in the crowd. That's all you've seen of them, you personally.
Oh. Her.
So they bring up this NXT wrestler to wrestle Asuka instead of using Raw talent, and I don't understand why. Like, it was cool to have her up there. She's a great wrestler. She's really good. She's the virtuosa of the armbar and blah, 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 blah. But, like,
Armbar.
why not use Sarah Logan? Why not use one of the Iconics? Why not use someone on the fucking roster?
Armbar.
So not good enough for Hulu, ladies and gentlemen. Asuka defeating Deonna Purrazzo. Oh, did you see the Becky promo, though, about her and Asuka? Did you see that at least?
I don't know. Remind me.
It was an interview backstage, even though, yeah.
I think I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, she said she needs Asuka.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. It was a really good promo. So Asuka beating Deonna Purrazzo and Eric Rowan's squash match. Only things not good enough for Hulu, and probably a good chunk of that U.S. title gauntlet wasn't good enough for Hulu either, I'm going to assume.
Probably. They probably cut some of that shit.
Raw, spit or swallow.
Spit.
Spitting with you. AEW?
Yeah, let's do it.
What did you think of AEW? Because you just got done watching it, Travis. How'd you feel about it this week?
They continue to have what I would call solid matches. However, they lack the story and the connection to back those solid matches up. Like, they keep telling me instead of showing me. There's a lot of like that thing with Kenny Omega and whoever the fuck that was that Pac was beating down backstage or some shit.
Oh, Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah, like, oh, that's Kenny Omega's best friend. How the fuck am I supposed to know that? Besides you telling me.
They're relying on the fact that they think that a lot of their fan base was their fan base before AEW was a thing and followed some of these wrestlers. They're playing a very heavy hand in that. And
had they shown me leading up to this, just having them interact at least once before this.
Well, and that's the other problem is, and we talked about this, they do a lot of stuff on their YouTube show being the Elite, and they have AEW Dark, which is like an hour of matches and segments that gets released on Tuesday, and it's all the stuff that was recorded that didn't make the Dynamite episode. So there's a lot of stuff that if you don't watch everything they bring out, you miss bits and pieces, and they don't do a very good job of going back and showing you in video packages and stuff like that because they've got a limited amount of time what you might have missed to make what you're seeing on TV make sense.
Yeah. What else?
I do really enjoy the fact that, like, Adam Page just doesn't really give a fuck anymore about anyone.
That's another thing, that story. That Adam Page and Kenny Omega story. The match was good, but the match didn't tell me anything. You know what I mean? It was like, it's supposed to be about them continue that storyline about them like being a team, but not really being able to work together.
Well, no. So the story was supposed to be that Adam Page is on a losing streak and he's kind of, I guess, not really turning heel, but just stop giving a shit, I guess. So he's doing what he needs to do to win, and he stole that win from Kenny Omega. It's not that they can't work together. They've worked together in New Japan and blah, 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 and this and that, and they are the Elite. They are, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, they're all part of this, the Elite, which, by the way, is a faction that exists that never actually is shown to really exist. It's just kind of like people are supposed to know that.
They're part of the Elite. Like, who the fuck is the Elite? What the fuck is that? Yeah. Like, I don't know what you want me to know. And you're doing a shitty job of telling me what you want me to know. Like, I'm getting solid matches from you, and they're cool. That's fine. I can watch entertaining matches. But if you don't have the story and the characters to back that up, I'm going to have a very hard time giving a shit.
I'm with you. So Page and Omega lose to the Lucha Bros, and then Pac comes on the screen and attacks Michael Nakazawa, or goes in the locker room where he is and says, hey, I want a rematch. If you're not going to give me a rematch, maybe this will get your attention. Kenny runs back looking for his best friend, who they tell us is his best friend, but there's no context, like you said, to let us know that why Kenny, cares about this guy so much, blah, blah, blah. And then the Lucha Bros run into Kenny, and they jump Kenny, and then Adam Page comes back and kind of runs him off. But we'll talk more about this when we get to the main event, because something interesting happened in the main event. Did you saw?
Or they want us to think it was interesting?
No, here's the thing. I really like Adam Page, and I don't like any of the other members of the Elite except for Cody Rhodes, who may or may not be part of the Elite. I'm still unclear on that. So the more he distances himself,
they always just call him Cody instead of calling him Cody Rhodes.
They can't legally.
Really?
Dusty Rhodes' last name isn't really Rhodes.
Well, they call him Cody Reynolds.
I don't think he's actually legally Reynolds either.
Who gives a shit? It's fucking wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
He wasn't actually legally Rhodes either. Like, what the fuck that matter?
WWE some assholes. Let's just put it that way.
I'm saying if that was the case, I would have called him Cody Reynolds. Like, that's what I would have done.
Yeah. I really like the fact that Adam Page is like separating himself from the Young Bucks and Omega, because I'm not a big fan of those guys. I kind of like that he's not like about that life anymore. He's gonna go do some cowboy shit, Travis. And I'm all for cowboy shit. Like, the only thing that would make me happier is if they got Garth Brooks to sing his theme song.
Are you really all about cowboy shit?
No, I am all about him doing cowboy shit.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, man. I've there've been things that have made me doubt your cowboy dedication.
Okay. Like
your
what?
Lack of dedication to Red Dead Redemption 2 is one thing.
Fuck. That game was boring as shit.
Whatever. Dude.
Darby Allin and Cody defeat the Bunny, the Blade, and the Butcher. Dude, so I realized
the Blade
something.
and the Butcher. The Bunny was not in that match, sir.
Well, she's the manager. Which, by the way, I don't like, because she should be in there wrestling. She can actually wrestle. And I want to see how well she can wrestle in that leather outfit. But that's neither here nor there. What's interesting is I realized something. The Butcher looks like a tatted up Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah. I can see that.
And the Blade is her real life husband. So they were both over in Impact for a while. Yes, sir.
The Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah, they fixed the fucking hedgehog.
They did. He looks like Sonic now.
Correct.
Valentine's Day.
Are you asking me out on Valentine's Day?
Not at all. I'm asking if you're going to see it on Valentine's Day.
I don't know. That's something I got to clear with the wife.
I know. I'm asking, why haven't you done so yet?
Because as much as I loved Sega and I liked playing Sonic, I don't know if I really need to go see a Sonic movie.
But it's Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik.
That's not a big selling point for me.
It should be.
Travis, I haven't enjoyed anything Jim Carrey's done since I stopped playing the Sonic video games.
What has he done since then?
Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, the number 36 or 63 or whatever the fuck that was. Yes Man.
You didn't like Yes Man?
No, I wouldn't want that shit.
I like Yes Man. Okay.
He's done some
you're
shit.
naming is not Jim Carrey shit. That's Jim Carrey trying to be serious, and that's not Jim Carrey.
But it's stuff he's done since then.
Yeah, but I'm saying this Dr. Robotnik shit looks like Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey shit, and I'm all for Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey.
Also, my wife hates Jim Carrey, so if she finds this out, if she hears this part of the podcast, I can guarantee you we will not be going to see Sonic on.
That's so sad. Why didn't she like Jim Carrey?
Listen, her and John are so much alike, it sickens me sometimes. But that's like the one thing they're the farthest apart on is Jim Carrey is John's favorite actor, comedian, whatever of all time. And Kate absolutely hates him. She does not find him funny. She hates the way he does things. She does not like Jim Carrey.
What the fuck? I didn't know this. Something needs to be done here. I think I don't know, man. You might have to divorce her.
I'm not there. Believe me, there are plenty of other things
We
like
are
her
a Jim
disrespecting
Carrey-
the Undertaker on
we are a
occasion.
Jim Carrey family, Matthew.
Listen, there are plenty of other things that I would divorce her for before it's she doesn't like Jim Carrey. Like, she's not stopping me from watching Jim Carrey movies if I want to. She's not telling me I can't watch,
Who said this is about you? Why are you being so selfish right now? This is not about you. This is a family problem, sir.
It's not a family problem, okay? You and me can still watch Jim Carrey movies together. It's not going to affect her. She's just not going to watch them with us. When me and your mom used to watch Tombstone, your dad didn't always sit there and watch it with us. It was okay.
Yeah, but he did. He was aware of the movie, and he was fully into it when he did watch it. He didn't dislike the movie.
So Darby Allin and Cody defeat the Bunnies, cronies, the Blade, the Butcher. Awesome Kong defeats a jobber. And then we get...
Wait, because they were saying something about, like, if he helped him, then he got a match or some shit. What was going on there?
Oh, yeah. If Darby Allin and Cody beat the Blade and the Butcher, then Darby Allin got a rematch against Cody because they had a really good match. And I think it was like All Out, or maybe it was All In, or one of those shows they did. And Darby came close to beating Cody, but Cody ended up winning. And Darby wanted a second shot to take out Cody Rhodes.
Oh, all right, cool. Moving on.
Awesome Kong defeated a jobber and cut her hair off. Jungle Boy.
That was one of those things I saw, like, I wasn't really paying attention because my Switch was downloading Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And I'm like, are you done yet? No, you're not done yet. And I looked up and the match was over. And I saw just her laying on the floor with the red hair. I'm like, is that Eva Marie? No, that's not Eva Marie. I don't care anymore.
It was literally one or two moves and then a pinfall. Jungle Boy has to last 10 minutes with Chris Jericho, and he does. He spent 5 of that in the walls.
It was like 20 seconds in the walls.
By the way, they also said that they can't call Allie the Bunny anymore, but in doing so, they called her Allie. And then they did refer to it as the walls. And it was a good 2 minutes in the walls. Like, he was in there for a while as it was counting down.
So what, are they supposed to call it the Lion Tamer now?
I don't know what they're supposed to call it. Like, they didn't specifically say Walls of Jericho. They just said the walls. So maybe that's a way to get around it. I don't necessarily know what WWE does and doesn't own as far as Chris Jericho's character goes. I'm assuming they own.
They know. That's my point.
I'm assuming they own, like, the List of Jericho because they were selling it as merch. They might own Break the Walls Down because they sold it on a T-shirt and it's a copyrighted fucking phrase. They own that music, which he doesn't need because he makes his own music. So I don't really know. But I think they just went the safe route and they said the walls instead of the Walls of Jericho.
And bring it back to the Lion Tamer. And then do it like the Lion Tamer.
So after Jungle Boy lasts 10 minutes, Jericho has a shit fit and wants 5 more. But then when Jungle Boy starts getting some quick pins on him, Jericho just says fuck it and bails. Says this isn't even important. What's important is after the holidays, we'll find out if Jon Moxley's joining the Inner Circle. Jerk.
Okay. So after he doesn't join the Elite, the Inner Circle, then what?
Then they're going to fight. And then we're going to get Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho for the AEW title. Yay.
Well, this is a big waste of time. Anyway, go ahead.
They're trying to build a story to get there, Travis.
They're trying. They're failing, though, Matthew. That's my point.
Well, you got to let it play out and see. We got to see what happens. Chris Jericho always has some entertaining segments. He's always good with his mic work. Jon Moxley doesn't say much. He just kicks motherfuckers in the dick and DDTs them and then pulls out sharp objects and tries to murder people. This could be fun.
Touche.
Then we had a dentist versus an alien, and the dentist won. Or no, the dentist lost. I'm sorry, the alien won.
I had to say, no, the other one won.
Yeah.
And she got jumped.
And then, what?
So then she got jumped.
Well, first she was offered that spot again in the Nightmare Collective, and she said no with her finger in Brandy's face. I love Brandy so much. You don't wave your finger in Brandy's face like that. So that's why she got jumped. Brandy hit her with the heel, actually, and knocked her out. And then somebody that I don't know from the back ran down to check on her.
Yeah. At least they're trying to give us a women's storyline here.
Yeah, they are.
We'll see what happens, but yeah. I'm enjoying seeing Awesome Kong back in the ring again, so I'm with it.
Ty Dillinger is talking to X4 Horseman Tully Blanchard about how he thinks he wants to make a run for the tag team titles. So Tully's got to go find him that perfect 10 tag team partner.
10.
And then in our main event, SCU defeat the Young Bucks. And Travis, this might surprise you, but I actually enjoyed what happened here.
Did you?
I have not been a fan of the Dark Order from the second that they showed up in AEW because I didn't know who the fuck they were or what they were about or anything. But they have taken these two clearly indie jobber nobodies and a bunch of weird guys in masks and black shirts and black pants, and they've built a story behind them. Yeah, they made them kind of intriguing. And now stuff's happening, and now it's like, okay, I'm with this.
Let's see.
So you got the Young Bucks in SVU, SCU. You know, that other letter in the alphabet that I didn't say.
Yeah, not the Special Victims Unit. Not them.
Yeah.
Ice-T was not.
They're in the ring, and the creepers jump them, and they're like, hey, like, this isn't about you. This is an initiation. Now, if it was an initiation, I feel like just those two guys should have had to go in there.
Out, bro.
Or, you know, they should have had masks on, too, to, like, be part of the group, you know?
They wanted you to see their faces, so it was so weird there, too. But I understand why you didn't put them in masks, but you should have put them in masks. Like, if everybody else is wearing a mask, including the leader, you should be wearing a mask, too.
One by one. The only one that doesn't wear a mask is the other guy in the tag team. So Evil Uno wears a mask. Grayson does not. But yeah, no, then like their help comes out.
Wearing a mask.
Huh?
I saw two dudes not wearing a mask.
Well, no, the two dudes that weren't wearing a mask are the tag team that they were recruiting last week in that promo.
In the hotel room.
Yes.
Okay.
But the actual members of the Dark Order, the tag team, Evil Uno and Grayson.
Sure.
Evil Uno is the fat guy in the suit with the mask. Grayson's the bald guy that doesn't wear a mask. I think it's Grayson. Could be wrong.
If you say so.
Anyway, it was interesting, but their help comes down in waves of like one at a time. So first it's Daniels, and then it's Kenny Omega, and they're like 15 guys in the ring. So like one guy runs into a group of 15 and gets his ass beat. Then another guy runs into a group of 15 and gets his ass beat. Then the Dustin and Cody, they come down together, but it's still 2 to 15, so they get their ass beat. Now, Bully Ray took exception to this because he's like, listen, we don't know who the Dark Order is, like who the creepers are. You just sent down all of your top talent and had them beat down by 15 nobodies in masks. Bully thinks that the good guys should have got the upper hand, and then there should have been
15 people.
Well, at that point, you've got 3 members of SCU, plus the Young Bucks, plus Cody.
Been taken out.
It's wrestling, Travis. We know how this works. He wanted to see a second wave of creepers come out to help overwhelm them once they, everyone got out there and the odds were kind of even.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with that. I'm with that. Show them like we're bigger than you think. Like okay, we got more. Send 15 more guys down. I was actually entertained by
how
this,
you would like that, but I was fine with the way it played out.
No, I was fine with the way it played out too. It was actually interesting, and I'm actually like, okay, like I'm not going to join the Dark Order, but like, good shit. I am like noticing that almost every episode of Dynamite somehow ends in like a big brawl. Every episode.
Yeah. Very WCW of them.
It's also the very last episode of the year. That's how they're ending the decade.
Yeah, no episode next week.
You know what? We're not going to get an episode next week, but I wish we were.
What's that?
Well, first off, AEW Spit or Swallow. Luchasaurus was technically on the show this week.
I was going to say, it's kind of hard for me to spit this because the Luchasaurus was in the building. However, what I say before still stands. They're failing to make me care about these matches that they're putting on. So I'm going to have to spit it.
Okay. So you spit Raw, you swallowed SmackDown even though you didn't watch it, and then you spit AEW. Last but certainly not least, I think, again, for like the 100th week in a row or whatever the fuck it's been, you and I could agree the best show of the week was NXT.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see SmackDown. However, something did not happen this week on NXT.
Okay.
I did not bask in a certain superstar's glory.
You are correct. We did not.
I did not get to give my energy to a spirit bomb.
You did not. You know why?
Why is that?
Because last week, all those fucking fans besides us didn't give their energy. He didn't get to deliver the spirit bomb and get the win. So he didn't qualify for the match this week. So it's all the fucking fans' fault.
You're right.
You didn't get Keith Lee this week.
Y'all didn't give him your energy, so he did not get the power for the spirit bomb and did not get that W.
It's their fault. We talked about this. We did, however, open up the show with an NXT championship match. Adam Cole versus Finn Balor, and this is exactly what I said. If you're going to keep the title on Adam Cole, I'm really glad that Keith Lee didn't win that match and that we gave this one to Balor. So Cole defeats Balor because Johnny Gargano's back, and he wants that Finn Balor ass. Finn Balor took him out. He wants it back. He wants it back.
I kind of remember that happening, but...
Well, it was like the only first thing that Finn Balor did when he got back to NXT. Did you notice on NXT, like they keep knocking into the barricade and supposedly knocking people dressed up like fans over, and then tonight, like they were still laying under the barricade, like they were stuck. Like
I saw that.
I'm pretty sure, fucking 10-year-old child could lift that barricade up. Why are you still trapped underneath it?
It's a very good question, but when I watched that, I'm just like, where's the building staff? Where's Full Sail? Get your shit together. Like, where are you people at?
Yeah, like, why is no one helping these poor fans that got kicked and knocked over and are now trapped? Cole versus Balor was a great match. Gargano returns. That was a big moment. Getting us back on track with Balor versus Gargano, which should be entertaining as shit. Did you see Killian Dane versus Damian Priest?
I did.
So you saw Killian Dane lose to the Saint because the Saint is the shit because I made him up and I created him to be the shit, and then they ripped him off and they made him a fucking archer and kind of ruined him. But, I mean, even Herbie pointed out, he's like, I'm not sure if I'm watching the Saint or Damian Priest right now. And I'm like, oh, there's an easy way to tell. The Saint doesn't shoot pretend arrows and has crosses on his pants.
Oh man, yeah, that he's definitely the Saint. Like he's like a less
stole my shit
version of the Saint.
Like before he even knew he wanted to wrestle, I had come up with the Saint.
Yeah.
So Dane loses to Priest. Did you see Kushida versus Grimes?
Who?
Asian Marty McFly versus really hairy Jack the Ripper looking motherfucker?
No.
Did you see Io Shirai versus Santana Garrett?
Again. Who?
Io. E-I-E-I-O.
I don't think so.
Okay. She's the genius of the sky. She does the moonsault. She did the moonsault off the top of the cage at War Games.
Negative.
Okay. Did you see Pete Dunne versus Travis Banks?
Negative.
No guy named Travis on the show for Travis. Did you see Dakota Kai's little backstage interview?
Oh, what that bitch say?
Basically, she's like, it doesn't matter what happened to me after that match with Mia Yim. A W is a W, and I got the win. Like, she pulled some real Travis shit. She's like, I don't care who put me through a table or what the fuck you did. I still got the win.
Right, though. Like,
yep.
She got that W.
And then I'm assuming you saw the main event, Shayna versus Rhea.
I did.
And our new NXT, no, not just our new NXT Women's Champion, the first ever person to hold both an NXT UK and NXT Championship, let alone the NXT UK Women's Championship and NXT Women's Championship. The Nightmare, Rhea Ripley. Travis, when she hit that riptide off the second rope, I popped so hard because I thought for sure when that Karafuda clutch was locked on her for like the 5th time, she was going to tap and it was going to be over. Like, part of me was like, we're going into a new year. They're going to give us a new champion. Shayna's been champion for 400 some fucking odd days. We're going to do this. But every time I think that.
Isn't it like 200 and something?
No, it was like 400 and something. It was over a year. Talk about this match while I look up her exact title reign.
What you want me to say about the match? I saw
What
this.
did you like about it?
Mission that Rhea Ripley did, like it looked like a weird, like she was trying to do the bow and arrow, but didn't really do the bow and arrow. Like,
oh, you mean like that like upside down figure 4 with your arm shit?
Yeah. It was like, is that the bow and arrow? It's kind of the bow and arrow, but not really the bow and arrow. What the fuck is she doing? All right, but whatever. Hold that.
Something she made up, and
she didn't hold.
It's dope.
It was just like, why'd you do that if you can't even hold on to it? What's your problem?
Well, because her arm got fucked up when it got stomped on the fucking.
Look, like you give me a whole bunch of excuses right now. I want results. All right, do better. Rhea Ripley, look right here. Do better. There's Matt still looking because he can't Google fast enough.
I can. I'm just not getting a good
slow ass Googling. He doesn't have the googliness. His googliness is not great.
Longest reign is 522 days.
Good tongue pierced.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I saw a picture. I'm like, oh, she got a tongue ring. And I looked at her again. I'm like, wait, does she have a tongue ring? So it's just like going back and forth on the tongue ring thing.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something here, but I don't know when it's from.
Over with. I'm just gonna say I'm right. So anyway, what else you got?
No, I popped real big for that. I was real happy. I'm happy for Rhea. They had that awesome moment at the end of the match where some of the fans came in the ring and put her up on the shoulders and cheered for her. I think this is going to be a good thing. I think this reign for Rhea Ripley is going to be entertaining. And I'm already looking forward to Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley because that is going to be a damn good match.
Yep,
and a damn good feud.
And up to the main roster now.
See,
you know that's the pattern. Why are you looking like that?
Because it's not the fucking main roster anymore. Everyone's on TV. So there's no moving up. As a matter of fact, unless there's a draft, no one should fucking go anywhere. There's not a moving up. It's a lateral move.
Up because they still
it's a lateral move.
They still only work in the Full Sail studio unless it's a pay-per-view. So like it is still.
Well, that's just the benefit. You don't have to travel around. You still get to be on TV every week, and you get to live locally.
The
that's a bonus.
On Raw and SmackDown, though, bruh.
I don't know about that.
What you mean you don't know about that? You telling me the guys on Raw and SmackDown don't get paid more than the guys on NXT? Well,
I'm
saying guys as in everybody.
I'm saying the top talent on NXT probably doesn't make as much as the top talent on Raw and SmackDown yet, but they're probably making as much as fucking Zack Ryder, if not more.
We don't know that, though.
I don't like that. We're at a stage now with what they've done with NXT. Yeah, okay, I get that the perception is that new talent still starts and NXT gets built up and that they're still in Full Sail. But
exactly,
they are their own brand on their own show, and there should be no moving over or moving anywhere unless it's a draft. And we should be drafting people that we're not using on Raw and SmackDown over to NXT to get used, like they did with Finn Balor, like they did with Fandango.
It worked for Finn Balor because it's Finn Balor. You noticed not much is happening with Fandango.
They just didn't make Hulu. So you haven't seen it.
Whatever. Like I said, it worked for Finn. It doesn't mean it'll work for anybody else. NXT is still their C show. All right. No matter how you choose to perceive it.
They won Survivor Series, and as you know, if you win Survivor Series, you are officially the A show.
That is not how that works. It just means you won Survivor.
That is how that works.
No, it's not at all
Travis,
how that works.
What has been the narrative for the last God knows how many years as to how to decide who the A show is? Who wins Survivor Series? And who keeps winning Survivor
That's not
Series?
how you decide
Raw.
what the A
And then
show
they keep
is. You know how you decide what the A show is? It's very simple. Raw is the A show. Like, it's just that simple.
No.
It's what it is.
I disagree. The best show is the A show.
No, Raw is the A show.
How?
Because it's fucking Raw.
No, the best show is the A show. That's what A show means. It's the best show. It is the show.
The number one
the
show.
Best show.
Yes,
the number one show. The best show.
Compare the views. Look at the views, sir. They're all on Raw. Raw is the A show.
I cannot argue that point.
Yes,
that Raw gets more views.
Raw is the A show. And you listen to, Bruce and Conrad and all them talking about their shit. They've even said Vince doesn't even give a shit about SmackDown. It is all about Raw. All his energy goes into Raw. Raw is the A show.
Then why is Raw the worst fucking show out of the three?
Because Vince
that's where all of his focus and energy is.
Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore.
But they got Paul Heyman. He's supposed to be running creative over there.
And it still goes through Vince, who's 80 million years old.
Vince can say what he wants. He says a lot of shit that I don't agree with and I don't believe, and he can fuck off. The A show is the best show, and the best show right now and for the last however many weeks has been NXT. NXT won Survivor Series, and after every Survivor Series, they talk about brand dominance and what's going to be the A show after Survivor Series, and then Raw wins Survivor Series because they don't count things like the New Day's win, and they call it a clean sweep like they did last year, and they say Raw's the A show because they won Survivor Series. Well, this year, NXT won. NXT is consistently the better product to me, and anyone that has half a brain in their head. The best show is the A show, and the best show is NXT.
And the funny thing about all that is it doesn't fucking matter because it's not up to you. So, yeah, it's still Raw. So, as I was saying, NXT is their C show. So, yes, it is still a call-up if you move up to Raw/SmackDown.
I disagree.
It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
As a matter of fact, I know there are a lot of talent that don't even want to go to Raw or SmackDown because they know what's going to happen to them.
That's fine.
They'd rather stay on NXT. I wish Aleister Black had stayed on NXT, and I know you don't want to see Keith Lee or Velveteen Dream leave NXT.
That's where you're wrong. I would love to see Keith Lee and Velveteen Dream on the Raw SmackDown roster because the Raw SmackDown roster is severely lacking in color.
But you told me specifically on this podcast with Velveteen Dream, before you even learned about Keith Lee, you now see why I feel the way I feel about Aleister Black, and that you didn't want to see Velveteen Dream go to the main roster because you know they're going to fuck him up.
Happen to him once he moves up to those rosters, but I still want to see him get there.
Oh, I can tell you, Velveteen Dream will be the new Goldust, and Keith Lee will be the new Mark Henry. So that's what you have to look forward to, and probably have to wait as long as Mark Henry did to get that Hall of Pain run.
I doubt that because Mark Henry took a long time to get fans behind him. Keith Lee already has fans behind him.
Big E's got fans behind him
now, but he's part
Big
of
E's had fans behind him.
Not like he does with the New Day.
But I'm saying, Big E's had fans behind him for a while. What is Big E doing?
With the
Big
New
E is still tag team champion.
Because he got over as part of the New Day. That works. So stay there.
So did Kofi. Kofi was champion. I'm saying they're not pushing Big E to do anything.
Okay. Big E's turn is next. What's your issue?
Big E's turn isn't next. Unless they break the New Day up, Big E's turn ain't coming.
Kofi's turn wasn't next either. It just fucking happened.
What I'm saying is, unless they break the New Day up, Big E's not getting a push. And
you thought the same thing about Kofi, sir. So that doesn't mean anything to me.
And again, because there's a 90-year-old white guy who's so out of fucking touch and thinks Raw's the A show and blah, 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 is running the show, and we know how he treats his talent, and we know what he thinks about him and how he uses people. It doesn't matter who's behind Keith Lee, because that's not the 2 million fans watching Raw. That's the 100,000 or 900,000 or 700,000 or whatever fans watching NXT that he doesn't give a shit about that are behind Keith Lee. Keith Lee's going to come over. He might have a few matches, look real good, and then he's going to be on main event until Vince figures out what he can do with a guy that's athletic and black that he doesn't know how to market or push because he's fucking Vince McMahon.
We'll see.
They shouldn't move unless there's a draft, plain and simple. Don't ruin them early.
Once again, that is the opinion of the warden, Matt Ritter. I've told him already multiple times he's allowed to be wrong.
I'm allowed to be wrong, but this time I'm not. Do you want to cover anything else, Travis?
Nope.
You spitting or swallowing NXT?
I'll swallow it.
Best show of the week?
The Witcher.
Haven't watched it. Doesn't count. Not wrestling.
Well, you just asked me what the best show of the week was. I'm just telling you, the best show of the week is The Witcher.
Of the 4 shows we watched, what was the best show of the week?
I mean, I guess NXT, but that's like by default. Because, like, I didn't see SmackDown, and Raw was just bleh. And AEW was, what AEW's been since I started watching it.
But NXT was a really good show.
It was solid.
I hate you so much. Super Flashy Arrow's not back till after the break. But you guys can catch up with them at facebook.com/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. You guys can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Smackin Raw. And everything, and catch up on everything at facebook.com/Creation World. Also, I don't know if it's working yet or not. I haven't tried it in a while, but there's creationworld.com, which you should be able to go to and find links to all our stuff. If not, you can go to Linktree, link.tr or linktr.ee/Creation World. And there you will find links to YouTube, Pornhub, merchandise, Patreon, so on and so forth.
All of them.
Except for where to find the audio stuff. That's not up on Linktree yet.
That's because that's weird and complicated, and even then it'd be a waste. So don't worry about that. Just go to your podcast services and you want that shit.
The very first episode of Return to Wrestling is available on YouTube. Was it on Pornhub?
No, just on YouTube.
Okay, just on YouTube. So please go check that out. Please subscribe to Creation World on YouTube. And if you really enjoy listening to me whine and complain about having to watch old episodes of WCW and Hulk Hogan, then go pay $5 and get the next episode immediately.
Hulk Hogan hate is real during this shit, and it's so much fun for me.
Don't wait a month to have to listen to episode 2. Go throw us $5, get that episode, and get source material and learn some shit about some comic books and get space stuff. I talked to John. Next season, whatever season, would it be next season?
Sure, whatever.
Butt stuff guaranteed. Already hooked that up for you.
Yeah. John likes butt stuff, so we'll let John do butt stuff.
And as always, as we talk about Patreon, $1 holler. We will shout you out on any podcast you want, like we did Mark Daniel Robles today, now twice, because I'm good like that. Also, $5, as I said, you get all of our extra bonus shows for just $5. That's 3 shows, 1 entertaining comedy sketch show, narrative show. What would you call that?
We talking about space stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a short little comedy short, like 5 minutes long.
And then you get the short episodes of source material, which help fill in the blanks in case you're following the CW universe and you want to know where some of these stories and characters and things came from. So check out source material. And of course, you can follow us along on our trip through the terrible 1995 WCW. And then for $20, you get behind the scenes and everything else that we just talked about. Find out what me and Travis say when we're not on the mic, because if you heard what we say on the mic, just imagine what we say when people we don't think are listening.
Or when Matt doesn't think people are listening. I know.
Or Travis and Mara. Or John and Travis and Mara. Or John and Travis. And as I say every week, make sure when you go to Pornhub or you watch behind the scenes, keep an eye out, because you never know. Mara might be naked. She might not be. I might be naked.
Speaking of
Travis could be naked.
I'm like working through some things right now to getting some Pornhub exclusive content. Could be a lot of fun. Matt is making faces right now because his mind went somewhere where I'm not going at all with this. But no, there's certain things that can only happen on Pornhub, but it's on brand with us.
Travis, literally you just said Pornhub exclusive content and things that can only happen on Pornhub. Where do you think everyone's mind went?
Exactly. You got to look and find out.
Okay. Our show is called Smackin' It Raw, and you're saying on brand with us.
I mean, on brand with Create Your World, not this particular podcast.
Well, my understanding is Creation World's brand is everything's okay.
Almost everything is.
Mm-hmm. $20 for that. $50, you guys can submit a topic and then get the behind the scenes and the $5 tier and the $1 tier for whichever show you would like it. Those are limited, so give us $50. Tell us what you want to talk about. We will dedicate a show to your subject, or at least as much of a show as we possibly can, depending on what you want us to talk about. And for $100, you guys can come on the show. You can come on the show for the topic that you selected, because you still get to select a topic. You still get behind the scenes. You still get the 3 bonus podcast shows, and you still get the $1 holler. Any show you want. So go to Patreon. Please donate to us. Go to Teespring. Check out our store. Buy some merch. Those Smackin' Raw shirts are fire. When Travis gives me permission, there will be Not Good Enough for Hulu shirts and some other stuff. Also, I apologize because Travis deleted the Smackin' Raw leggings and some of the other stuff that I put up there. He said it just wasn't on the storefront anymore, but I looked. It's not in the store at all. You can only get Creation World leggings. We might be able to fix that if you want them. Let Travis know. But they're not there anymore. Gone.
Oops.
Yeah. I tried to get you Smackin' Raw everything, and Travis said it was too much, so.
I don't like Matt clogging the storefront, people. All right. That's all I'm saying.
Let us know if there's something that we have that you want in a style that we don't have it, and we will see if we can make it work. You can DM Travis at Sir Cussalott, that is at SIR_CUSSALOTT on Twitter and Instagram, and let him know if there's anything you want. Suggest Panda Gifts or get at him for talking shit about AEW, AEW wrestlers, AEW characters, or anything else that you want to. You guys can also get at me on Twitter at Matt Ridder. There's at MATTRIDDER, where you guys can tell me if there's something in the store that you want, and then I can tell Travis to put it up. Or we could just sit and talk shit about Travis. Or you can join me as I promote Smackin' Raw and talk wrestling through all the shows every week, as I do. Also, over on Smackin' Raw Facebook page, facebook.com/group/Smackin' Raw. We got a tournament going on right now to determine the best manager. Currently, Paul Bearer is destroying Sherry Martel, to my utter happiness, because as much as I love Sensational Sherry, Paul Bearer, by Undertaker alone, is the greatest manager alive, not including Kane, not including Mankind.
According to Matt.
You just need the Undertaker. That's all you need. I'm a little disappointed that Bobby Heenan didn't lose to $1 Million Man, because $1 Million Man brought in the motherfucking Undertaker. That's the greatest thing you could do in wrestling. It's the biggest achievement ever. You brought in the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Done.
But Bobby Heenan managed the Heenan family. All right. The greatest manager of all time. All right.
I might even remove Bobby Heenan and put Brother Love in his place.
Why would you do that?
Just swap them out. Trying to talk about greatest managers, and if you haven't managed The Undertaker, you can't be the greatest manager because he's the greatest superstar of all time, Travis. It is what it is.
Who you manage is not all that makes you a great manager. It's what you do as a manager.
That is a difference of opinion. Travis is going to say I'm allowed to be wrong.
You are.
You guys know how this goes. Anything else we need to talk about or plug? Is there a Creation World or Creation Conversation coming up? Creation Conversation, not Creation World. Anything?
After Christmas.
After Christmas. And you guys won't hear from us till after Christmas. So, for Sir Cuss-a-Lot Travis Pointer, I am the Warden Matt Ritter. The show went way too fucking long. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We are Smackin' Raw, and we are that damn good.
Peace.